Hey, travelers. For over 18 years, my husband and I have fantasized about the day where we can afford to have hired help, a maid, a chef, a driver. What would life look like for you if you could afford to have hired help? I'm just simply blown away because not too long ago, I was just like you, drowning in the shallow ends of my life in America, like literally struggling, dragging myself through every single day. But today, I can just be me. I'm free. Let's get into it.
All of this was washed for $3.78. $12 a month for someone else to wash my clothes and fold them and fold them.
Okay, so everyone does the videos where they're like, oh, what can I buy for $10 in a day? What can I buy for $100 in a day? And I absolutely like those videos. However, if you're like me and you're really trying to build your budget and you're looking to move abroad and you're looking to possibly come and visit Vietnam, then you actually want to know the price of everything, all the small things that actually make your budget on a day to day. Just knowing the cost of a cup of coffee is just simply not enough. So, I have a video just for you where I'm going to go through the cost of everything in comparison to what it costs in America right now. Now, also keep in mind that I am giving you averages. I'm starting you with the base price. All right. So the lowest amount, and I'm giving you simply like a range because we all know that there are certain brands that really make the price fluctuate. So keep that in mind as I go through and I kind of give you the average and the range of different items that can make or break your budget. All right, now let's move on to services. Now, this is what really takes the cake for foreigners coming to Vietnam or moving out of the country because your budget can now afford you the services that you only wished you could have had in the States. So, 2 hour maid service, 2 hour maid service, $8. All right. So to get my 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom apartment cleaned, I'm talking about mopped, washing the dishes, wiping the countertops down, cleaning the bedrooms, cleaning the bathrooms, mopping all the floors, taking out the trash, all of that was $11 for a 2 bedroom, 2 bath. $11. That was amazing. In the States, I was paying 120 and I didn't pay it often because I was like, they didn't even because I usually wasn't satisfied. The first few times I was satisfied in the States, and then after a while I just wasn't. But I'm not gonna lie, to pay $11 for a maid service is beyond a blessing. All right, a personal chef. Now, this is something that I have not taken advantage of yet, but soon I will. Some of my expat friends have experienced paying $35 for a total of 5 meals for the week. $35 for a personal chef to come over to their house, cook all their food that they requested, that they picked from the menu, and it lasts them for 5 days. Now, that is a hack right there. But personal chefs can cost anywhere between $35 and $58. And a lot of times, according to my expat friends who have hired personal chef, the food that they order and select usually lasts them between 5 to 7 days. In the States, a personal chef maybe 150 to $600. It's going to get ridiculous. 150 to 250 just depends on how many people you're feeding, but it's in the hundreds in the States for sure. So, all right, childcare per hour. Here in Vietnam, once again, childcare is not something that I've taken advantage of here. My daughter is a little bit older and she's pretty easy to manage in that way. But if you have little kids and you are coming here, there are a lot of families with little kids who do take advantage of the childcare that Vietnam has to offer. And the childcare cost per hour here in Vietnam, you ready for this? It is $3.80 all the way up to $5.71. Yes. Now, sometimes they do have the reason why it could get up to 571 is because sometimes the nannies will actually clean up and cook. And if you want them to clean up and cook, then you'll be paying something closer to the $5.71 an hour per child. But If you don't want them to clean up and cook and you really just want them to watch your child, you're looking at $3.80 an hour per child. That's not bad. And some of them also will include a hour or so of teaching. And of course, they'll raise the rate up to about $1 or so if you want them to teach a little bit as well. Now, I will say the drawback that I've heard when it comes to childcare, if the nannies can be a little bit flaky on the scheduling, leaving you hanging at the last minute or changing their availabilities. So keep that in mind as you go through. But at the end of the day, I still think that it's a win in cost. And I've had no complaints of anyone feeling like their child wasn't safe. um, there was one where the nanny fell asleep and the child drew on the wall. But I mean, to me, that's small things until you have to pay for that wall to get repainted. All right, Grab and Uber rides. Out here in Vietnam, it's called Grab. You can order your food from Grab and you can order a ride to different places like you would do with Uber. For a 20-minute to an hour ride is going to be anywhere from $4 to $20. I honestly have not paid more than $20 for a ride. And the one time that I did pay $20 one way for a ride was because it was a really high traffic time and I was going an hour away. But where in the States can you Uber for $20 and go an hour away? It's not happening. So it's a really good rate. But factor that in, especially if you live further away from the city and you do plan on maybe bringing your child to school in a different district on a regular basis, or if you work at a school and you know that you're going to have to be going to the city on a regular basis, you can factor in your grab rides and transportation into your budget. But also know that there are buses out here in District 9 that will get you to just about any district for free. So, once again, I'm cutting your budget and I am helping you live the life of your dreams on a dime. Okay, now let's get into some healthcare services. A doctor's visit. A doctor's visit here is going to cost you anywhere from $12 to $27. A doctor's visit in the States is going to cost you about 100 to 350, 100 to 350. Some of you may have a copay where you might pay 25 or $50, and then you might have to still pay for your prescription, which then might be 35 or $40. So, healthcare in the United States can get pretty pricey pretty quick. I recently went to the doctor to get a specific birth control prescribed to me, one that works best with my hormones, and my doctor's visit was $12, and my prescription for birth control was $7. Amazing. All right. So here in Vietnam, your prescriptions can range anywhere from $4 to $12, where in the States, good luck finding a prescription for $4 in the States. Okay. Dental cleanings. Your dental cleaning can cost you anywhere between $10 to $23 here in Vietnam. All right. Dental implants. I did quote the price to basically get a one tooth implant. If you're like me, a lot of us are missing a side tooth and it's kind of embarrassing, and I definitely want to get that replaced. And so here in Vietnam, a new implant or an implant is about $690. I haven't seen anything under that. And in the States, I was looking at very close to $2,000 for one implant. All right. So when it comes to accommodations, if you're looking for a one bedroom, a studio, a small two-bedroom, one bath. You can actually find that here in Vietnam, and I am speaking about District 9. You can find that here in Vietnam in District 9, Ho Chi Minh City, for anywhere between $200 and $400. If you're looking for a two-bedroom, two-bath, you can find that anywhere between $450 and $700. If you're looking for a three-bedroom, three-bath, you can find that anywhere between $800 and $1,300. It really varies tremendously. All right. If you want more information on that, then definitely go check out my apartment video, where you can actually see 14 different apartments and you can, evaluate the prices and figure out what actually falls into your budget. Manicures. Here in Vietnam, you can get a manicure or pedicure for anywhere between $4 and $27. All right. What I do want you to know, okay, manicures and pedicures in the States range from around 25 to like $70. It gets up there depending on how fancy you want and what kind of designs you want. I want to tell you that here in Vietnam, they slay with nails. They can do the designs to the gods, all right? But I do want you to know when you go to get your manicure or your pedicure and you are happy with that $4 and you get excited, I do want you to know that the basic pedicure, they are actually not scrubbing off anything, all right? It is a basic pedicure. If you need to get the crust off your heels, you better pay for a higher quality of pedicure here because the basic pedicure here is not scrubbing your feet in the way that you expected in the States. Okay, so keep that in mind. Eyelash extensions are anywhere between $9 and $38 here. Yes, $9 for like a classic set of eyelashes, which I love, and 38 up to $38 for like your over the top ones. Okay, in the States, that was easily about 47 and above for sure. 47 and above. Ooh, but let me get to my favorite laser. Come on, come on, come on. Laser hair removal, guys. Laser hair removal out here in Vietnam range it for 15 sessions. My husband and I paid $82 for 15 sessions. He's currently on session 4 and he has all that service has already gotten rid of about 50% of his hair growth. And it's a good chance that he's not going to need all 15 sessions to remove the hair off of his back. Anyway, okay, but ultimately, I'm ecstatic because we all know that laser hair removal in the States for a minimum of like 3 sessions, you're looking at $1,500 plus. So keep that in mind. Laser hair removal can is we paid $82 for 15 sessions. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, Korean spa visit. In the States, a Korean spa visit was nothing under $45. Out here, a Korean spa visit is anywhere between 12 and 17. Yeah, and it's the full experience. And all of these services are actually at the same quality, if not better, than what I have experienced in the States. Ooh, to the fun stuff, activities and hobbies, because you're going to want to do something. You're going to want to dive into all the things that you've always wanted to learn. And so I'm excited because I've been able to do activities that I wouldn't dare pay for in the States because I just think it's overpriced. But no matter how much I love it, I just refused to pay for it. And I was tired. I was tired as hell. All right. But out here, I've been able to take a turfing class where you make your own carpet. In the States, that was easily between $50 and $75. Out here, I paid $35 to take a turfing class. And out here in Vietnam, it typically ranges between $23 and $37 for a turfing class. All right. Horseback riding lessons. All right. My daughter and I, honestly, the whole family, we love horses. All right. And she used to go to horse camp every summer. And so I am so excited to be able to sign my daughter up for horseback riding lessons. 8 sessions of horseback riding lessons here in Vietnam cost anywhere between 135 and 192. Yes. I'm so blessed and grateful. All right. Dance lessons. That's another thing my daughter really, really wanted to take more of in the States. And I just didn't have the time and I was not paying the cost for that. 8 dance lessons here in Vietnam cost anywhere from $65 to $77. My daughter has 3 dance lessons left of her 8 sessions and she has really been enjoying it. We both have. All right. Aerial yoga. Aerial yoga is something I absolutely love and another thing that I've been wanting to try in the States and I have not, and I'm excited to say that aerial yoga here in Vietnam is anywhere between $7 to $10. So I will be signing up, my daughter and I, for a Monday aerial yoga class because we are both excited to play on the silks. In the States, aerial yoga is anywhere between $25 and $45. All right. Perfume making classes. Perfume making classes here in Vietnam is anywhere between $14 and $21. And when I say the girls have showed me and told me that the quality is amazing, all right? In the States, a perfume class can cost anywhere from 45 to 150. All right? Candle making. Candle making here in Vietnam will cost you anywhere between $13 to $19. Yes, in the States, maybe 35 to 100 and something dollars. Art classes. Art classes here in Vietnam will cost you anywhere between $15 and $35. All right. Art classes in the States vary. Honestly, we've been doing art classes on YouTube and different apps that actually teach us how to draw because we love to draw. We're creative beings. Pottery classes. Pottery classes here in Vietnam will cost you anywhere between $19 and $25. A pottery experience in the States is easily going to cost you $50 and above. All right. Paintball. Oh my gosh. We are working on getting a paintball group together who wants to go paintball. I don't know about you, but I like some paintballing between $19 and $27. All right. Golfing. If you are big on golfing, golfing can cost you somewhere between $70 and $131. And golfing on the weekends can range more to like $108 to $162. I'm not a golfer, so I don't even know enough information on that to validate if my research is accurate, but that's what I got for golf when I looked it up. Um, that's what I got for golf when I looked it up. So if you like golfing, they definitely have it here. And from the little bit that I do know about golfing, that is dramatically cheaper than what it is in the States. All right, pickleball. Now, pickleball is something that me and my husband, that was our thing. All right, we would have a group of friends where we would meet up and we would go play pickleball. We would all rent out a court, and or my husband and I would just rent out a court. But ultimately, here the group plays pickleball. There's a pickleball Zalo group, and every person pays between $2 and $3 to play pickleball. In the States, we were paying about $6 to like $12 a person every time we would play, depending on the hour. So there's a lot of variables when it comes to pickleball. But ultimately, $2 to $3 for you to split a court with a group of friends. That's amazing. All right. Hair washing. To get your hair washed and styled is anywhere between $4 and $27 versus in the States where you're starting at $35 plus. $35 might just be for the hair wash because most places don't wash your hair anymore in the States. But ultimately my husband was able to get on multiple occasions my husband was able to get his hair cut and his beard trimmed for $6 total. Bruh. I don't know about you, but haircuts in the States are $30 plus and they're slowly creeping up to like 50. It's crazy for a haircut. My husband would go months without getting a haircut because he was just like, I'm not paying that. That was ridiculous. Yeah. But out here, he keeps a haircut and he stays looking good because it's only $6. And I love it because now he looks handsome every day. All right, but let's get into the everyday items. A dozen of eggs. A dozen of eggs here in Vietnam costs between $1.35 to $1.73. In the States, for a dozen of eggs, you're definitely gonna pay somewhere between 260 all the way up to like $7 or $8. It just depends. All right, moving on to milk. Milk will cost you anywhere from $1.54 to $2.85. In the States, milk is easily about $3.50 to $6 a gallon. All right. Fresh cut fruit. So I'm not talking about your fruit that you see in the produce section sitting uncut. I'm talking about fresh cut fruit because in the States, fresh cut fruit is going to cost you a little bit more. But a large tray of fresh cut fruit, which is actually equivalent to a medium tray of fresh cut fruit, is going to cost you between $3.85 and $5. Yeah, for fresh cut fruit. But just remember that there's a size difference in just about everything that I'm talking about. A bottle of water. A bottle of water here in Vietnam is going to cost you between 38 cents and 58 cents. Bruh, when has that? I can't remember when a bottle of water costs under $1. In the States, a bottle of water is going to cost you $1.50 to $3. A six-pack case of water is going to here in Vietnam is going to cost you $1.15 to $1.54. In the States, a six-pack bottle of water is anywhere between $4 to $7. Coffee, as you already know and have seen on the shorts or on YouTube, coffee here is going to cost you anywhere from 65 cents to $2.69. In the States, coffee is going to cost you anywhere from $2 to $8. Let's be real. All right, a family pack of meat. Okay, so once again, the size of meat, kilograms, is going to be smaller than what you would see in the States. So keep that in mind as I give you the price. But your family pack of meat is going to cost you here in Vietnam is going to cost you anywhere from 5.75 to 13.50 a pack. All right? In the States for a family pack of meat, you're paying anywhere from like 11 to like almost like 35, depending on how big you're talking about and how many people in the family you want to feed and what quality of meat you're looking for. But you can find meat in a whole bunch of different cuts here in Vietnam that you have never heard of. All right. Well, I hope this helped. Now we're going to go back to my response to picking up the $3.78 load of clean laundry. Because it's more than just about the laundry. It's the fact that just 3 months ago, I was drowning in the shallow ends of my life. And now I am simply overwhelmed with gratitude at how dramatically my life has changed in the blink of an eye. And these dramatic shifts are part of the journey that I promised I would share with you.
Bruh, what did my parents teach me? They taught me how to slave. They had me slaving.
I'm joking. Honestly, y'all, my parents were amazing. They taught me how to provide for myself, but I didn't realize how much I have actually been in survival mode.
Gosh. Okay, but is it just me, or does anyone else have an issue or feel uncomfortable with someone else washing your underwear? That's the only thing I cannot pull myself to bring there. My husband he does not care, but I don't know why. I think I'm gonna have to let that go. I think I need to just let it go. Who cares? I'll be gone in a year, so it doesn't matter if they see my underwear. Anyway, yeah, I'm bringing my underwear too. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Life is so good. Life is so good. Someone else is going to wash my underwear. Yeah. I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about having help. I am not mad about having help. I am not mad about it. I am grateful. I deserve it. We have worked so hard for so many years. I have been working since the age of like 15. So, like, this is a goddamn dream come true. Like, I'm not playing with you guys. I don't understand. I should have definitely did this sooner, man. I should have did this sooner. I'm sitting over here crying because I can afford help. I don't have to do it by myself. We don't have to do it by ourselves. We can afford help. And that is like priceless. Like, I'm so serious. Like, this might seem small to you guys. I am just a small town country girl who stepped out on faith when life served me lemons. I I was laid off, jobless, and now I can afford help. What the flip? Life can change in the blink of an eye. Life can change in the blink of an eye. I am like your living proof. If you want to make a difference in your life, you just have to step out, make a plan, step out on faith, and follow the plan. Like, you can do this. Follow the plan. You can do this. You can have hired help too. There are so many families out here in our expat group who literally have been like taking advantage of these services like since almost day one. And I don't know. It must have clearly been my lack mindset that kept me like in freeze mode when it came to like hired help. This is
So, for lower than the cost that you would pay for fast food on a regular day, you can actually book a session with me, give me a call, email me, and I am here to help you make your dreams come true. If you're serious about taking this leap, or even if you just want to make a visit, definitely set up a call and I will help ease your mind and we can create a game plan and I can answer all the questions you have that could possibly be stopping you from actually making the leap, from actually taking the chance. All right? Look, I'm not going to lie. I was stuck in survival mode for years, and it's really hard to do when you're completely on E. So, let me help you. And also, if you want to know all the specific apps that you will need, all the essential apps that you'll need when you're coming to Vietnam, and the things that you will run into with those apps and why they may not be working for you, definitely check out my essential app guide below.